How to do the link question. I think this will be easiest for you if you remember that it's an understanding question and it's about ideas. So although you have to quote, the thing we are most interested in finding out is, do you understand what the writer is saying in this passage? Do you understand what he was saying or she was saying before the link sentence? And do you understand what he or she was saying after? And how there has been a transition between two ideas. And if you have that as what you're trying to do, I think that will make it clearer. Here's an example. Show how the third sentence acts as a link in the argument. William Shakespeare is easily the best known of our English writers. Virtually every man in the street can name some of his plays and his characters, and many people can also recite lines of his poetry by heart. However, despite our familiarity with his work, we know relatively little of the man himself. We do not know when or why he became an actor. We know nothing of his life in London and almost nothing of his personal concerns. So, we're showing how the third sentence, the one that's underlined, acts as a link in the argument. The phrase, our familiarity with his work, looks back at the topic of how widely known Shakespeare's work is. We know relatively little of the man himself links forward to the new topic, what we don't know about Shakespeare. So when you're doing this, that's how you structure your answer. Look at the sentence, you'll be told what sentence it is, and you'll be told that it's a link, or the question might also say, what is the function of this sentence in the writer's argument? And if you see that, the function is going to be that it links these two things together. So the only thing you quote from is that sentence that you've been told about, not from anywhere else within the piece of the passage that you're looking at. You quote the part of the sentence identified that links back. You state the topic it leads back to, and this will be a summary, not a quotation. You quote the part of the sentence identified that leads forward, and you will state the topic it leads forward to. I'm going to show you how I would go about doing a link question. Mary Stuart was certainly rated a beauty by the standards of her own time. Even John Knox, the famous Protestant reformer who didn't find many things pleasing, described her as pleasing. In her height, her small neat head and her grace, she resembled the contemporary ideal. It was the type of beauty her contemporaries were already learning to admire in art and could now appreciate in life, all the more satisfyingly because it was in the person of a princess. Not only the appearance, but also the character of Mary Stuart made her admirably suited to be a princess of France in the age in which she lived. Mary was exactly the sort of beautiful woman, not precisely brilliant, but well educated and charming, who inspired and stimulated poets by her presence to feats of homage. It was remembered before she came back to Scotland to reign, she lived in France and in fact married the son of the French king and became briefly Queen of France herself before his death. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at the link sentence, which has been underlined, so I know which one it is. And I'm going to look out for words like but or however that might signal a change in direction. You won't always get this, but if you do, it's quite useful. Then I'm going to look at the first paragraph and think, what is it about? So we've got words called beauty, we've got her small neat head, and we can see that it's all about what she looked like. Great. Okay. I'm now going to look at the second paragraph, the part after the link sentence, and see what that's about. And I'm seeing well educated and charming. So this is less about what she looks like than her personality and her mind, what she was like on the inside. Then I'm going to go back to the linked sentence again and see how those two ideas, what she looks like, what her mind's like, are included in that sentence. So the question that they're really wanting you to answer is, do you know what the writer is saying before the linked sentence and after the linked sentence? So in the linked sentence, we see the word appearance. So I would quote that and I would explain that that linked back to the first paragraph, which is telling us about what she looked like. And then I would quote the word character, really short quotes here. And that was leading forward to the second part of the paragraph, which is all about her mind.